And we're live. So good morning, everybody. My name's Vac. It's a perfect morning for some Marble Strike Force here in Mortytown. So we're gonna hang here for just a second, put a few notifications out, etc. I'm still doing that manually. And then we got at least a couple hours worth of Marble Strike Force action to roll through today. Get through our daily grind, so to speak, and make sure that we're doing our part for the lads at Mortytown. All right. Let's see now. So we're gonna give it a few minutes for people to kind of stagger in. So, all right. Grab our daily login rewards. That's a nice one. Mega orbs I don't care about, but that's great to help people catch up. I'm all for some catch-up mechanics. So let's see what everybody had to say last night. Not a lot of chat in the alliance last night. I have no idea what a Duncan factory is. All right. All right. So, on to the meat and potatoes. Gonna try to get all this stuff knocked out inside of an hour or two. I need to put my my new tower on the operating table. Got it to power up yesterday, all the lights and fans and everything, but I'm getting a VGA error. There's some problem with the graphics card. I could take the graphics card out and it boots fine, but I don't have a video input on the motherboard, so I need to get a graphics card that'll. Maybe I need a new graphics card. Maybe that's the issue. Maybe it's just something with the way I've got it powered. It's still troubleshooting. So let's see now. First things first, let's go check the offers. I mean, we looked yesterday. Man, buy this offer if you got $5. Buy this offer if you need Minerva. That's a great deal. 50 Minerva shards for $5. I'm not buying it. I don't need it, but that's a good offer. So let's see here. No on premium orbs. No on mega orbs. No on gold. It's not a terrible gold offer, but no. No, I think this mixed energy bundle is about all we're going to want. Yep, that's it. All right. This is what we want right here. Come on. Alright, no marrows, but still. We got some catalysts. We'll take it. Alright. So, we'll buy that. We'll buy that. Kind of good on these for now. Definitely need these. I don't think I need the laser torches. Pretty good on lock cases. Definitely want the superior basic catalyst. Grinding those out constantly, Morty. 300 at a time. Alright, no marrows this morning, but that's alright. Added to our catalyst totals. Pick up some boosts. We'll need that tomorrow. Definitely take that. Take that. I already bought that orb, so let's see here. What do we got? Give me catalyst. There we go. Give me marrows. Not today. Alright. And who we got for upgrades? Let's see. Morto, Reaper, Hand Sorceress. None of those are great options. We're just gonna hold on to them. And I'm not gonna bother refreshing. It's not that big a deal. So we'll just check back at noon. I'm gonna be that guy. I'm gonna like my own video because I do like it. All right. A little high roller action. Finish that out before the day's up. Probably before this morning play session is up, because I don't know that I'm gonna get back to playing before 7 o'clock my time. So, I mean, well, you know, barring my 550 play session where I go for #1 in arena, but that I do on my phone every day, wherever the hell I'm at. I just stop and do it. But I try to play my morning and evening sessions at home on the PC. So that's why we're probably gonna do a lot of streams. It's just it's too easy. Why not? Now that I got everything set up and everything, it's only gonna get easier as I get it automated. And I've always been kind of a mouthy son of a bitch, so I don't mind sitting here talking to my computer while I play. Kind of miss the music, but you know, we can roll with it. We can roll with it. All right, so we need more energy. So my daily routine, we're gonna buy more energy. I buy all the 50s and all the 100s every day. Comes out to 600 cores. And then if you're doing things right, you're earning 500 cores back in arena. So you're spending like $1 and change a day on the game, right? Yeah, a little more than that. I'm probably spending closer to $10 on the game a day. But still, it's within my entertainment budget, so it doesn't really hurt me. So now we take those. See what we can get out of our challenges. Like I said, I got other stuff I want to do a little later this morning before I go to work, so I'm not going to try to push these challenges any further to the tier 12s. At some point I need to sit down and take the time and give that a shot, but man, they're pretty hard, and the name of the game on that is just repeating them over and over until you get good RNG. So I mean, on a day when I got more time, But that's not many days. That is not many days. So, alright. Now we just need to spend our 1,300 energy. What I would really like to do is take Captain Marvel to gear tier 14. So we're going to come in here and we're going to farm some catalysts. I mean, it's kind of a given we were going to farm catalysts. I'm just basically spending all my energy farming catalysts these days. So I don't think even if I had all of those that I would be able to raise her, because we still need more bone marrow, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, we do. Marrow extract. So let's move on to the real crunch. Is do we have enough of these things? There's only 3 nodes. I mean, they have got. I hope they put 2 of these nodes in the next round of new campaigns, because I mean, this is what I need. This is the main thing that's gating me here, and I got 3 nodes to farm it out of. Man, I mean, they're pulling cores out of me on that I don't want to spend, but I have to keep sitting here and jacking these freaking things out, because it's 300 of these suckers for every piece of gear, and I got a lot of characters that need to go to 14. So I'm kind of in a crunch on this right now. So we're going to go ahead and farm these up, and if we get to 300 here, looks like we might, we're going to probably raise somebody that isn't Captain Marvel, because I don't have her many uniques. I need more marrows, and hell, who knows how long it'll be before I get them. So I might go ahead and finish up Corvus or one of the other Black Order. Oh my God, we didn't even make it. Saddest day of my life. Alright, well, we'll get it later today. So that's that. It's spent, that's fine. We just need to move on. We got a lot to do this morning. We're going to do a blitz rotation as well, because I actually care about red stars. I don't care about most of these character shards, but I care about red stars. I am at it again, Mr. Sander. Yes, sir. I am trying to be prolific. If I'm playing this game at home, I'm going to stream it. That's kind of just the way I'm going to approach this. Everybody keeps telling me, you know, make a lot of content, keep cranking it out. Well, yeah, I can do that, especially with these live streams. That's not hard. So what'll be more difficult for me is getting into making short 10 to 15 minute videos about various topics on the game. I want to do more of that, and so that will have to pick up. I'm probably kind of, I mean, I might, maybe next character, the Domino release, I might see about putting together a video showcasing her and something like that. But for now, we're just sticking with live streams, because I mean, I'm playing a couple hours every morning and I'm playing a couple hours every night, so I might as well put it out there. So we've spent our energy. Let's see here. Raid Blitz donations. Let's go ahead and donate to the Mortytown Locos, shall we? I will concurrently do the same with Baxilax. Not angry about it, but I don't like getting on every day and seeing that we didn't make it on donations. So the way this works is everybody in the guild donates 10,000. We all get rewards, and if we all donate, we get our 10,000 back. So people letting me down on that. They're letting all of us down. That's the kind of thing that gets you cut, because there are a billion Mortys in the multiverse. So let's see here. We can go ahead and we got that 37 energy. We'll go ahead and spend that somewhere. I bet Corvus needs some skill gear. What do you know? So there, that's that. Okay, we got one and some catalyst and a catalyst. We'll take it. All right. Give me stuffs. Got the stuffs. We've farmed the store. We've spent our energy. How are we looking in arena? 4th. All right. So we didn't drop it all overnight. I was 4th when I went to bed. So I didn't really participate in arena yesterday very much. I did not push for number 1. And I'm not gonna now because I don't want to knock my buddy Insane Native off number 1. If I can, I try to. If I do knock off Insane Native, I talk to this guy in Discord. He's a pretty nice guy. Free to play player too. So you got to respect that. I'm not so sure that Cyclops is the best choice there, but he's working with what he's got. And he likes it. And it does work, man. It does work. He was the first guy in my arena shard that I saw that started using Ebony Maw. Now, of course, you see he's got a 6 red star, Ebony Maw. He was pretty excited about that. So, you're the rickiest Morty. I like it. So, we're not going to bump native. Usually if I do bump native, I bump him from number 2. But even, we weren't going to bump number 1 anyway, because the name of the game in arena is I want to sit at like 2nd or 3rd or 4th place all day, and then right at the last minute, take out the number 1 guy so that nobody has enough time to take me out and supplant me. Because, people can beat my defense, right? I mean, there's no defense right now people can't beat. That's just serious players can beat. There's just no other way around it. Right now, offense is winning the arena meta. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to knock off this guy using this Black Order team. Again, I pick on this guy. He's just too easy to beat. And I'm going to sit here at number 2, hopefully for the rest of the day. And that way, when I bump Insane Native down off number 1 later, or whoever's up there, then I'm only knocking them down to number 2. I like to be as soft a touch with Native as I can, because that guy's pretty cool. So we're gonna go ahead and attack Unclouded and get one of my arena attacks out of the way. I have yet to fail in taking down this Black Order team. I have yet to fail to do it with a plum. It's just not that great a defense team. Mine's stronger than his, and I still don't want to use it in arena. All right, so he's doing his little bit. Now we just start working on. Call. We'll take all those debuffs onto Phoenix. All right, that accelerated things. Smack call around a little bit. He's not dead yet. We're about to clone him, and that will keep our Phoenix safe. And see now. Ebony Maw, his ability landed. She's ability blocked right now, but as you're gonna see, it's not really gonna matter that much. So I'm gonna taunt with my cloned Call Obsidian, and that's pretty much gonna keep. I would have preferred a different position for him to have been cloned into, not right next to Phoenix, but he's gonna keep Phoenix alive long enough for us to kill their Call Obsidian, and then it's pretty much just it's all over but the crying at that point. See, now look how little he's going to heal this tank. Like, right, what is that? What was that? 2 pips. I haven't even finished the tank yet. Corvus is already dead. He's just so squishy. So now we can just move on to taking out Heavy Maw. Oh no, that's the big hitter. Did he kill? He killed Phoenix. All right, so we didn't get Phoenix off because of that's the first time that's happened. But I think we're gonna be all right. Usually I get a big Phoenix drop, so this is probably the best this team's ever performed against me. He's been beefing them, I guess. But I'm still not worried. I'm still not worried. Proxima Midnight is as squishy as could be. And I just don't think Thanos is going to pull this off solo, man. Just don't see it happening. So as you can see, I'm down one character, two, I guess. Really wasn't that difficult. That's the hardest time I've had with them yet. Fighting those Black Bolt Yo-Yo teams that have a maul on them is a little tougher. And in my opinion, fighting Black Bolt Yo-Yo teams that don't have a maul on them is even tougher than that, especially with the right, with the right people. So now we're we're going to hopefully just sit there until this afternoon. And, yeah, who will snap me? Oh, Thanos will snap me. Gotcha. Well, I don't think he's going to do it. Nah, he's in the grave. Not the first time Thanos has died, am I right? So, let's see now. Okay, so Arena's out of the way. We can go ahead and move on to blitzes at this point. So let's see here. None of these teams on the bottom end are going to have a damn chance in hell in 8-3. I don't think even Mercs or Hydra. Maybe Brotherhood. If I get the right combination of characters here. Kind of like this one. Let's give it a try. 500k. That's a 140k punch up. 8-3 can be a pain in the ass. All right, so definitely want to open up and try to get Minerva out of the equation. But really it's about positioning with this team, so we're just going to try to hit Cable back there in the middle and hit everybody in the splash damage is going to be the goal. They don't seem to be hitting us very hard, so I'm feeling good about it. Even at their advanced power seem to be going down pretty quick. Look at that blob. Look at that blob. All right, so let's get Minerva out of there before she brings anybody back. Dead man walking. There we go. Easy peasy, man. That was actually a fairly easy 8-3 fight. Can't complain about that. No, I'm not even doing milestones in Premium Blitz, man. I ain't got time for that, and I don't need Premium Orbs. Like, the only character I need out of Premium Orbs is Blob, and I'm so unlikely to get them that, like, whatever, I'm not stressing it. The timer is the same on both, right? So, I just as soon put all my attacks into red stars. I used to do premium blitzes, but they have no value for me anymore. A trickle of gold is always welcome, right? You know, some gear parts and stuff. But I mean, I would just as soon, you know, put $10 on a gold offer and save my time, to be quite honest. Yeah, it's probably going to have to be Defenders, right? I'm not even sure if Marauders is up to this task, but we'll give it a shot. So how are things in Denmark this afternoon, my friend? In the town of Odenstown, right? Let's see. The city of Odin. Now, who do you clone? Who do you clone? Thinking Daredevil. Good damage. Get this over with quicker. Oh my God, Punisher, stop it. Good, that was the way I hoped he went. Alright. Little heal up. Let's go ahead and get Iron Fist off the board. Got Minerva, Blob, and Taskmaster. Taskmaster's in premium orbs now? Okay, that makes things a little different. I do need some Taskmaster shards. You're working far from home like Spider-Man today. I've actually been enjoying those Sony Spider-Man movies with Tom Holland. Now, you know, it's kind of up in the air whether or not he's going to stay in the MCU, whether the damn money men in the offices are ever going to agree on shit and things like that. But they're quality movies, man. I really thought that the surprise ending to that last one, Far From Home, was incredible. I felt like bringing back Homeboy to play J. Jonah Jameson was brilliant. That really left me leaving the theater with a big smile on my face. Like, I hope they keep Tom Holland in the MCU. Because I want to see him continue to interact with these other characters. And I would hate for the whole Spider-Verse to get yanked away from the greater Marvel world at large. Because that's what it's really all about, right? We're all seeing a world building project, essentially, right? Through cinema. Where, you know, like, there's been movies before that tied together in a way, but a lot of them it was a way more subtle. Like all the John Hughes films are in the same town and they reference each other, but they never really cross, you know. So it's things like that, you know. It's like an evolution of that concept, and I really enjoy watching it, especially with a property like Marvel that I've been into since I was a kid. I don't know where Jyland is. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. But yeah, man, being 125 kilometers from home, man, you know, it's like what? It's like 80, 90 miles, something like that. Yeah, I don't get that far from home very often. I take a trip down to Nashville every now and then, things like that. But largely, I don't get out a whole lot. Especially, I haven't traveled anywhere since COVID. I haven't really felt safe with that. I don't even like going to work, to be honest. I like to spend every bit of my days right here, sitting in this room at this computer, basically, or maybe hanging out next door with my brother until they get this shit settled and I can get myself a vaccine. So it's settled that he's going to be able to do both. That's good. I mean, but what's the duration on that deal? I bet that's not in perpetuity. I bet they don't let that go forever. They really want to make those Spider-Verse movies and cash in on the popularity, you know. They really want to. So speaking of Spider-Verse, I'm not sure if my symbiotes can take this, but we're going to try. We're going to give it a shot. So you visiting family or something, man? You got a girl out there in Thailand? What's going on? I mean, I know you're not working, right? Or maybe you do have a side gig. Maybe the prison's not it. I don't mean to be presumptuous. I think most of the other Mortys are asleep. Yeah, the next I did read that three MCU films, so hopefully they keep the good relationship going because, man, like Tom Holland is great in that role, and who do we kill? I think we still need to get rid of Drax. So Tom Holland's great in that role. And the interplay between him and Iron Man, to me, was unexpected. I never really knew of those characters being tied together that tightly in the comics. At least not in the period where I read them back in the day in the 80s and 90s. But yeah, I mean, it was a very enjoyable relationship between the two. And I would like to see more interplay between Spider-Man and other MCU characters. Particularly, God, if we can get Spider-Man and Deadpool together, the feels that I would have because of that would be awesome. So yeah, I figured it was probably sometime in the afternoon there. So the prison you work at is 120 kilometers from your house, man. That's a hell of a commute. That's something. I live I don't know kilometers, but I live 7 miles from where I work. It takes me 10 minutes or less to drive there. And man, that's just, I'm sure you live in a town that you probably were born or raised in, and that's why you do that. Or maybe it's something that's special to your wife. I don't know. A lot of people, that's how their situation ends up being. Me personally, I work for an automotive manufacturer, and man, they keep closing these plants down. And when that happens, you basically got a choice, right? You can take a buyout and stay where you are and go work somewhere else and just give up the job, or you can keep the job and you can pack your bags, right? And go to the next plant that has a spot for you. And I've had to face that decision now since I got the job when I was 20. And I'm 45 now. So in those 25 years, I've had to face that decision 4 times. And I've had to pick up and move across the country and start over again in a new city. And so when you do that, whatever city they send me to, man, I start looking around for the nicest area that I can stomach living in around the plant, as close as possible to that plant. Because when you're new to a town, one spot's the same as the damn next, really. As long as there's some decent shopping around and I have easy access to work, that's just the best option for me, right? There's no other preconceived bias about any part of town or a next town over. I would rather live in Nashville than where I live now, but Nashville's 2 hours south of me, and that's just way too long a commute. Way too long a commute. Can't do that. I ain't got time for that, man. That cuts way too much into my gaming. So let's see if there's anybody here that maybe Supernatural can take. Maybe these guys. We'll try it. We'll back out if it doesn't go well. Storm's probably the weakest of the bunch, and we want to be hitting Carnage. We'll bring that Elsa boom, ba-doom, and we'll heal block them. Well, I don't think they're going to be healing. We'll save the flip. I think she's dead man walking now, so I'm going to go ahead and equalize health and get a deflect on everybody. Alright, let's see here. We'll go ahead and hit a big shot on the big guy. See if we can't knock his health down to a manageable level. Maybe we can stun him. Yeah, we blinded Miles. That'll probably help. All right, so now he's taunting us, so we're going to go ahead and get rid. Oh, he resisted. Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh. That was terrible. So, we ain't got no choice. We'll keep hitting the big guy. Now this, hopefully, will finish off Carnage. There we go. There we go. So I'm feeling good about it. I'm feeling good about it. We'll go ahead and we're going to go ahead and res Wanda. Oh, no, that was terrible. Oh, bad things are happening. But I get the retribution damage, so that'll be pretty close to finishing him off. I'm betting we can rot Miles' little world right here. Oh, mercy. This'll be good. We need that. There we go. Don't die, Elsa. No, it's all my damage. It's all my damage. All right. Let's just see if we can't get Jugs off the board without using that ultimate. There we go. We'll save that ultimate. All right, we got the retribution damage. Now we got the ultimate. I think Ghost Rider can finish this thing up for us. Yeah, Ghost Rider. Yeah, Ghost Rider. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Let's see here. I'm trying to win a match over here with Baxos. Ghost Rider pulling it out. Love it. Love it. $1,400 islands. Well, yeah, I mean it's a fairly. We were talking about this yesterday, weren't we? It's a fairly low-lying country. I really feel like Denmark is one of the more interesting Scandinavian nations. But typically Scandinavian history altogether is pretty interesting. The pagan past, the shift to Christianity, the monarchy. Like you guys live in an interesting part of the world. When I talk about where I'm from in the world, people just think about Deliverance, Or when I tell them I'm from Alabama, they talk about, oh my God, I saw Forrest Gump 20 times, Which, don't get me wrong, I've seen Forrest Gump 20 times too. That fucking movie is incredible, but it doesn't really necessarily give a real picture of what being from Alabama is like. See if there's anybody in here. I think that we can maybe beat that. We can maybe beat that. Maybe my 7 Red Star Black Panther will pull that out. But yeah, I know Denmark's small comparative to the states, right? Like, I mean, probably about the same size as 2 or 3 states tops, right? Or one Texas, right? Or part of one Texas. But it's just the nature of things. It's a big continent. A lot of people on it. I mean, really, it's just more about the political evolution of the continent. That, it started off as one nation of people that then colonized and expanded the rest of the continent, manifest destiny, all of that. As opposed to Europe, where it was multiple concurrent nations and cultures, kind of really closely mingled in together, but developing separately all at once. Whereas, the comedian Trevor Noah is right about one thing. In many ways, America is like a bunch of countries inside of a trench coat, right? It's like a bunch of little countries inside of a trench coat pretending to be a big country, right? Like, we disagree on so many things. And we can, but I really don't doubt our unity at this point, even given the current political climate. But we can, one region of the country to the next can be fairly different. I mean, you drive around and it kind of looks the same because of globalization, right? Like, just, everywhere you go, there's a laundromat on the corner. There's a liquor store. There's a Target. There's a Walmart. There's the same shit everywhere you go. But outside of commercialism, the regions can vary widely. You guys are the happiest nation in the world? That's nice to know. I mean, I imagine. I keep reading that you guys have longer lifespans than us, and you work shorter work weeks and things like that. So hell, I'd be happy too. Yeah, if I lived longer and didn't work as fucking much. You know, I bet you guys have. I bet you guys have universal health care of some sort or another. You don't have to worry about going bankrupt because you get sick, which is an ever-present fear in American life. Hell, you might even have universal basic income to take care of the poor. I haven't looked that up. But the amount of poor and homeless in my country right now is becoming an issue. I mean, it's been an issue, right? I mean, when people are suffering, that's always an issue. But there's an awful lot of people with mental health issues that are living out on the street now. And it wasn't like this when I was a kid. Things have changed. Things were always changing, but it's just that change is moving in a bad direction and it's accelerating. So, yeah, 5 million people, man. I mean, that's not a lot, by U.S. standards. I guess, we got cities that got almost that many people, but it's a big, like I say, it's a big continent, man. To really be more accurate, you don't need to compare the USA to Denmark. You compare the USA to the European Union, right? That's kind of politically, that's kind of what we are, a union of states. We just call them states instead of nations. Most of them were never nations of their own. Although that's not true for all of them. Both California and Texas were at one time independent nations. And I think maybe Florida for a little while under the Spanish. That may be that. I think I seem to recall reading that. But not necessarily under the Spanish, but in between the Spanish occupation and American occupation. I'm not sure. Maybe for a brief period of time. All right, let's get some Black Order action going here. That's a weird combination right there. Deadshot. That's a strange combination. 2 defenders, 2 Avengers, and Sith. That's I don't know what to do with that. Honestly, Thomas, I think that most Americans would be a lot happier with y'all's system too. But there's a very large amount of resistance here to trying anything new, but especially stuff that's seen as socialists. Like that, people treat it like such a dirty word here. I look around the world and I see countries that are pulling these things off successfully. They're not destroying capitalism, right? I mean, things are still basically, people still get, mom and pop and apple pie and a burger, and nobody's getting thrown into gulags. So I'm not sure what the hell everybody's so freaked the fuck out about. But there's so much propaganda over here with the right-wing radio and Fox News and shit like that, man. And I mean, it's not like Fox News doesn't, they got truthful stories. They're not spitting bullshit all the time. It's mostly the opinion guys in the evening, Hannity and guys like that. Personally, I vote Democrat because I'm a lifelong union member. I work for a union, for Ford Motor Company. But I really was never sold on things like national health care, universal basic income until later in my life, when I really started to see the faults in our system. And I agree, right? That's the main thing that holds most Americans up on trying these things is, fuck that, my taxes are going to go up. And it's like, yeah, your taxes are going to go up, but that money is going to flow back to you in services that you're not getting now. It's so hard. I don't know how to explain to people that maybe they should care about the other people around them. I don't know. We live in a very, over here at least, we live in a very dog-eat-dog world, if you're familiar with that expression. So let's see here. I want to get Punisher's damage down. We're going to do that. Don't really care to flip bus until she taunts. So we're going to try to hit both of these tanks and get rid of Hawkeye. Put up our defense ups. That's pretty much exactly it, Thomas. They think that communism and socialism are synonymous. And they're certainly, in a historical concept, they're related. I'm not saying they're not. But it's not the same thing. And it's amazing to me how difficult it is for the average American to just take an objective view of the rest of the world. It's like for most of them, y'all don't exist. It's just America. Right? Like over here when we talk about COVID numbers, they talk about the death. The only thing, even on the news, they don't talk about death worldwide pretty much. They only talk about how many Americans we've lost because they know that their audience only gives a shit about how many Americans have been lost. And the lives lost around the world are pretty irrelevant to most Americans. It's kind of a sad thing. It's not even kinda, it's definitely, tragically, a sad thing. Me personally, I'm more than willing to pay a little more in taxes if I can get universal health care. If I can, go downtown and not see homeless people laid up on the street stacked like cordwood because they're all huddled together trying to stay warm in the winter. So, yeah, I mean, I would love it if my taxes paid for universal health care for every American. Because right now the way I get my health care is it's negotiated with my employer. And I have great health care. And a lot of people are like, well, why would I want to change? I've got good health care. It's because you're getting it through your employer and your employment status is not permanent, right? That employee, especially if you're not union, that employer can just, fire you. A lot of them can fire you without cause, just because they don't fucking like the way you look at them, So then where's your fucking healthcare, right? Where's that good healthcare you were crowing about? So I don't think people think things through. So me, being a union person, a lifelong union member in the UAW, United Auto Workers, I feel like in many cases when we go to the bargaining table with our employer, that health care and the cost of it is often used as leverage against us. It's an axe hanging over our head. I am indeed your Rick, sir. Keep it on the level. I'm just a Morty like everybody else. So anyway, oh, he wasn't even commenting on that video. That was a different video. I guess somebody's watching one of my videos. I got a little pop up there. So yeah, I feel like if we had universal health care in America, that would give my union a much stronger bargaining position at the bargaining table, because we sit down and we try to negotiate benefits with these guys, and they say, look, hey, we'd love to give you what you're asking for, but we're paying, $74K a head a year in insurance costs. And that's where, we can't do that, That's actually a decent argument that they have, right? I mean, it's something that they hold over our heads. So if we didn't have to rely on our employer to give us health care, we would be able to negotiate for more benefits outside of healthcare. So then maybe we could see some, some movement on other fronts. I mean, shit, I went 12 freaking years without a raise at one point there. Like, we need some more wiggle room at the bargaining table, and I feel like that's a way to get it. So yeah, you were a soldier for 12 years. Well, that's impressive, buddy. I myself never served. I was like 16 when the Gulf War popped off. And I went straight to building cars, man. I went right out of high school to cutting meat. I was a butcher in Middle Tennessee for a long time. And then, a couple of years. But then I got the call to Ford, and that's been my lifelong career ever since. I've been doing that and nothing else. And I'm sure you guys did lose more per capita because, I mean, shit, there's a lot of damn people in America, right? I mean, it's 300 million people over here. So, I mean, even in the big wars where we lost a lot of soldiers like Vietnam and the like, per capita, it really wasn't that large a number. We like to think that we're a hardy people ready for sacrifice, but that's the Russians. You know, that's not us. You know, I mean, we got people, you know, protesting in the street because they don't want to wear a fucking mask and they want to go get their hair cut. Like, we're not that tough. We're not as tough as we think we are. Don't get me wrong, our military is top notch, and you know, I mean, it's very unlikely that any coalition of nations could challenge us in a conventional war. Although certainly, if China and Russia ever joined forces, then the whole world would be in danger. But as it stands now, conventional warfare, you know, is sort of far from most Americans' minds, except as something that's cool, yeah, you know, and. I don't know. We got a really twisted view of war around here. And maybe my aim can beat this team. I think so. I mean, trust me, where I'm from, you see the worst of American bravado. We got some wonderful people down south, and it's really in many ways a beautiful culture with a lot of beautiful traditions. If we could just let go of our sordid past, things could get really bright in the south. But instead, we got a ton of dipshits that want to act tough and cling to that past. It's like the only way to avoid acknowledging how shitty your life has become is to pretend that you're superior to somebody else, and I have no patience for that kind of fucking nonsense. Bosnia, respect, my friend. That was a hot zone. Heard a lot about Bosnia-Herzegovina back during the 90s. I was young. I was in my 20s, you know, back then. And I was mostly, I mean, honestly, from 95 to 99, I was married. And, you know, just trying to build a life with a new wife. And, you know, I was still partying a lot. But she was kind of a partier, too. Didn't really chill on all that till my mid-30s. Oh, I got storm cloud hitting me up. That's what it is. Okay. So do you guys have any kind of compulsory military duty over there? Yeah, maybe we can do this. Oh, come on, guys. Let's get it together. All right, we didn't lose Johnny, so that's a plus. Need to keep the pressure on Iron Fists. If he goes down, we win. So in the spirit of that, let's hit him with the big hitter. let's get Punisher out of here. He's already used his big attack, but he still does good damage. He gets all those freebies, so I want him gone because now I'm about to start hitting Daredevil. Probably going to lose. Yeah, probably going to lose him over it. Yep. Bye-bye, Namor. You did your duty, sir. So let's skin. If we get Daredevil out of here, that's most of the damage. Damn, Luke Cage and that late taunt. Here we go. Ba-nail! All right. Love it. Love it. All right. Let's get you out of here, JJ. It's all over but the crying. Yeah, I bet that did give you the tools for your current job. So, what I meant by compulsory, I know this is not your first language. Do they have required military service in your nation? Is that something like you have, like when you turn 18, you got to do a couple years in the military, something like that? Or did you volunteer? Okay, so you were conscripted. Okay. See, over here we haven't had a compulsory military service since the Vietnam War. It's entirely a volunteer army. Kind of a lottery. Yeah, see, that would, I mean, that kind of thing makes Americans mad, dude. Like, we want to have, it's like we concurrently, simultaneously, we want to have the strongest military in the world, and we don't want to be forced into military service. And that's just, I mean, and I feel the same way. I don't know how to explain it. That's just, I mean, we kind of want to have our cake and eat it too. I don't know. This is the way we are. But then again, we have a number of, I mean, it's kind of a family thing over here, right? You know, your father serves, the son serves, the grandson serves, and so on. And it tends, I mean, and that's not compulsory in any way whatsoever. It's just kind of a family honor kind of thing. Here, it's just like, you don't want to serve, you don't serve. Which, you know, probably makes it difficult for the leadership with all the wars they try to start, but you know, I don't mean to be too critical, because I know that every war that we have started in my lifetime, there was definitely a kernel at the center of it of people wanting to do good, right? You know, of wanting to ride to the rescue, to make things better for people around the world. But I'm done believing that we can spread democracy at gunpoint. Iraq was a horribly failed experiment. I'm not sure why we ran that experiment twice, right? And we ran we ran it further the second time, and that just made it worse. So I'm not so sure about that nation building kind of ideals anymore. I was more open to it when I was younger and a little more gung ho, but now I'm not so sure we should be doing it. But I do believe we need to keep up a strong military. It's very clear that we have rivals around the world, if not enemies. So even though the likelihood of a gigantic conventional war is fairly low at this stage in human history, I still think it's worthwhile for any nation of free peoples to maintain military readiness. I mean, there is something fair about a lottery system, you have to admit. But I do think a lot of people over here in the U.S. would see that as kind of oppressive. And that's the kind of thing they point to when they talk about socialism. Oh, you know, I don't know. So yeah, I have never seen any war myself, like a lot of Americans. I went straight to the manufacturing war. you know, uh, the war that I've been involved in is the war between capitalism and labor. That's the war I've been involved in my whole life. Because the people that own this company, that make these cars, they don't make cars. We make cars, right? They just profit from it. They put in the initial investment, buy the building, set the lines up, and then we go make cars. They ain't putting their hands on none of these cars. If we walked out the door tomorrow, they couldn't make a damn car the day after. And nevertheless, even though that's the division of labor, they still want, if they had their way, I'd be making, $7 an hour and struggling to feed my family. And that's just not something that I'm willing to stomach. That's that's a fight that needs to be had. So I've always been active in the labor movement, unions, trade skill unions, that kind of thing. And that is in my mind the important war in America, is the war between those two sections of American society, the lower to middle class workers and affluent business owners. There is definitely a divide there. And it's not really a conventional nation versus nation war that I worry about. It's a damn class war. And I'm pretty sure it's already going on and we're losing. So that's the struggle I'm involved in. Very active in my union. I'm not as active working right now. So you drew another number? Did they not just let you volunteer? Yeah, that's a lot to write in chat. The Middle East, yeah, I'm not trying to dissect the Middle East. Frankly, yeah, I think a lot of these wars that we find ourselves in, it was the right thing to do at the jump. It's just that we get ourselves involved in something that's hard to extract ourselves from. Or at the very least, our military has this tendency that once we go somewhere, we don't leave. There's no backing out. We've still got troops all over the world, and in many of those places, we need to have a troop presence. That's not something I'm disputing, but it just does seem to be that when we go somewhere, even if we go there to help, we stick around long enough to make sure that we hurt. At this point, the Iraqis are practically ready to initiate further violence to expel us. It certainly seems like the government that we've set up is not really serving the people. But I don't know. These weighty matters are far beyond me, my friend. I'm just here to play video games. But yeah, that's just the way my mind turns. everybody here right now is talking about race relations. I'm still thinking about the class disparities. Everybody thinks it's black versus white. I think it's rich versus poor. And so that's of acute interest to me because I'm pretty solidly middle class and in the middle of this shit. So, you know, I don't want to get tore apart by either side. So kind of like to see all of the angry, disillusioned people below me receive some level of decency and justice. You know, and I'm willing to pay a little more in taxes to see that. And I fear what will happen if we refuse to engage in such programs, I guess is the way to put it. All right, so it's about all the blitz action I'm going to do. Time for raids. I forgot to get back with Reds yesterday. He sent me some shots of his. Been so busy. He sent me some shots of his roster. Was asking questions. All right. Let's see now. Yeah, we got arena and raids. We're gonna do arena later today. Still muddling through on Baxos over here. So Alt 7's done. We did get to 60%. That's badass. Thank you very much, people. I needed those. Yeah, there's no reason we can't do that. No reason we can't do that. I don't want like an excessive amount of talking, but if we had a large audience, that is. But it's kind of just us Mortys right now, so there's no harm in a little chatting. I'll probably transition. I'm probably just going to do what the hell ever during the live stream, and I'll put more and more focus onto making short videos for YouTube consumption as I get more accustomed to working the program and the editing tools. So, did they teach you English in school, or is that something that you picked up later in life? Oh my God, we don't have enough tickets. Morty, I need 100 more tickets. All right, we're going to work the Gamma raid and hope by the time that that's complete we can start up an Ultimus raid. That's what's going to happen. Hang on, that's not right. JD's on the top of the list. Who let JD up there? The guy's from Auburn. They don't win nothing. We got to do something about this. All right. Yeah, no, I don't think I would even try to engage in discussing these weighty topics in a chat forum in my first language, let alone in a second language. Like, yeah, that's it's all a little heavy for this live stream anyway. I just I just want to relax and play some Marvel Strike Force. It's all my fault. I'm the one that's been talking about it. I'm not blaming you. I just need to quit it. Need to knock it off. That's not a bad Kree team. That is not a bad Kree team. Hey. Bye, Doc. Yeah, man, they make. I mean, when you're in high school here in America, uh, they require really nothing, right, for graduation. But if you want to go on to university, then you do need typically a language credit. But man, you get a lot of people that, you know, it seems like everybody either they learn Spanish and very quickly kind of lose most of it, or just pick up a little. I mean, it's handy to be able to speak Spanish here. It's very handy, especially in the southern half of the United States. But really, anywhere you go in the United States, there's a pretty sizable Hispanic population, and it never hurts to be able to be somewhat conversational in the language. I'm not, right? I went the other way, and a lot of people will take, some of the nerdier kids take Latin because they know it's a language nobody's going to expect them to speak. And it's very likely that you're never going to be in a career that's going to require it. So it's just a language credit you can take and then forget about and move on. You know, you pass the classes. You know, I think I squeaked through with a C on Latin 2, and then you just move on with your life, right? I knew I wasn't going to university. I was going to go straight to work. No, they're not. We are not teaching any second languages that early. You know, you don't really get a chance to start learning a language until you're like 14 or 15. Easy. Grades, you know, basically grades 8 through 12. Mostly just 9 through 12, really. They really only offer. Kids get to jump ahead some, but it's really only the kids that have a combination of IQ and affluence that they like. Essentially, if you're in an inner city school that's largely African American. It really doesn't matter what the fuck your IQ is. You're not getting any honors programs. There's none of that going on. It's a rough road. Like growing up, I went to good schools at first, and I saw what that looked like. And then my parents divorced, and my mom was kind of struggling as a single mother, and we ended up living in a largely minority neighborhood, and so of course I went to a largely minority school, and I got an idea of what it was like to be the minority in that experience. Because I think there was like 2 white kids in my whole neighborhood. I was living in Houston, Texas. It's a very strongly Hispanic town, and so yeah, I saw what it was like, to be the smallest group and occasionally made outcasts for it. And I saw the level of commitment that was made to the kids between the white schools and the black schools, and it is fucking different, let me tell you. And they sure as shit weren't teaching us French. But it's in many ways. Everything's local around here, right? How much money your school's getting, how many services that a student has available to them is largely dependent on local administration. And I've gone to like a poor white school as well, right? Way out in the country. Not a lot of resources available to them. Good football team. That's what school's for around here, man. Training football players. God, I miss football. I really hope we have a season this year. College, I don't care about the NFL. Well, it's probably, it's not that far of a drive to Germany from where you're at, is it? I bet you could get to Germany quicker than I could get to the west coast of the USA. Yeah, I imagine if you want to learn a language, watching their television as a young person, that would definitely help it seep in. I know I've spoken to a lot of people from around the world who learned English basically from watching American TV. You can always tell by the slogans and stuff they say. All right, so that does it for me on Gamma. I don't know if Baxos can do us any good here. I need to spend Baxos' energy and generate some Locos. All right, let's see here. Yeah, he got something. We'll let his Brotherhood do as much damage as it can. Try to get us a little closer to 60%. Oh, look at that. Oh, no. Somebody passed JD. No. I can't believe that. What the hey? He'll probably jump on later this afternoon and jump ahead of me. I don't really care. The rewards from these raids are not really that critical to me. Yeah, I've been to schools like that. I went to a little country school in Tennessee, a little place called Dixon County. And, yeah, like, it's a little more mixed now. But when I was there in the early 90s, yeah, like, there were 4 black kids in my graduating class, which was a pretty stark difference from the school I was in before that in the big city in Houston, where there were like maybe 4 or 5 white kids, me being one of them. I'm very white, if you can't tell. Like, I'm a ginger, red hair, plus being bald. Like, I'm about as Caucasian as a person can get. Like, you should see me in a bathing suit. No, you should not, really, but still. You might need to wear sunglasses. All right, so we can't start up an old 7 just yet, so we'll check back here in a minute. Got just about everything done so far as objectives. So that makes it Dark Dimension 3 time. Kind of what that's saying to me. Oh, okay. Okay, buddy. All right. I don't want to have this argument with you. It's just nomenclature. It doesn't mean anything. Football over here is one game. Football over there is another. I got nothing against soccer. I have a cousin that loves it, a younger cousin that he actually went to university in Missouri on a soccer scholarship, was a great player. Doesn't do it anymore. You know, he's older now. He works for a weapons manufacturer, actually. But soccer. I got no problem with football. Y'all, you know, it's just a lingo thing. It's just what we call it, right? The ball only touches the foot very rarely in our version, right? So it's a little different. I don't know why. I mean, this is what people call it. I've grown up calling it football. It's American football. I guess people back 110 years ago were just too damn lazy to come up with their own name for the sport. I don't know, man. I don't know. I like ours better than yours. I can't help that. I watch soccer. I got nothing against it, man. I got nothing against it. But it just looks like an awful lot of fucking running around is what it looks like to me. Very little action, an awful lot of running around. That's what it looks like. Now, there is a version I've seen. I don't know if you... I'm sure people are doing this over there because you guys are so crazy about the sport. But they got kids and even adults playing over here in leagues. Basically just up north. We're really not into it down south. But up in the northern states, you know, they're into things like hockey and soccer that way more than we are. Midwesterners as well. And so they play what they call... what is it called? Arena soccer? It's where they play soccer in an enclosed space with plexiglass, like kind of like a hockey rink, you know, if you know what I mean. You guys got hockey over there, right? And so it's kind of like a hockey rink. So you're in a much smaller field, and there are plexiglass walls, and you can ricochet the ball off of them and make plays that way as well. And since the field is condensed down, everything's a lot tighter, a lot faster. And I found it to be a much more compelling version of the game. I used to go watch my cousin play, and then even after he got out of school, I would go and he would go play with his friends, just as an amateur. and I always enjoyed watching that. I mean, the way they rebound that ball off that plexiglass and everything, they're smashing into each other. I mean, to me, that was just to my American, I don't know if sensibilities is the right word here, but to my tastes, I found that to be a much more palatable version of soccer. If you just bring it all down to a little smaller field and put the walls around it like that to me was really cool. It was very fast paced. I had a lot of time. I had a lot of fun with it. I mean, I drank a lot of beer while I watched it too. That helped. Good morning, brother. Yeah, we're talking. I'm talking with Mr. Sander here in chat. He's from Denmark, and I was talking about football, and he was, pointing out to me that football is soccer, soccer is football, whatever. You know what I mean. So anyway, I'm not worried about spending this 22 energy right now. So we're going to go do Dark Dimension. By the way, say hello to Baxos, everybody. You stoner here, that's Baxos. Who I'm currently running through the raids on right now, in fact. But I think he's done. Yeah, I don't think he has enough mutants to get any further in this lane, so that's that. So, I'm going to work on spending his energy. Maybe we'll get tickets. And we're going to start Dark Dimension 3. Yeah, different strokes for different folks. I was telling them about Jared, actually. That, like I used to go watch Jared play when I lived up in St. Louis. And that my favorite version of soccer was the indoor, I think they called it arena soccer, where they played in a space about the size of a hockey rink, and there are like plexiglass walls around it like a hockey rink. In fact, I'm pretty sure that the same space is a hockey rink at times, and they just cover it up with flooring for the soccer. And I thought that was a really fast-paced, really cool variation of soccer. That, like I say, it was a little more physical, a little faster paced, and it just, as an American who watches American football, it appealed to me a little more. So, okay, we're kicking Sinister out. We're going to take Coulson in for the first run. And let's go get our daily dose of pain in Dark Dimension 3. This mode kicks my ass, but it's all about incremental progress. You are up incredibly early, by the way, Baxos. Yeah, a lot of Americans do love soccer. He's got a good point. Like I was saying, especially up north and out in the Midwest, it's way more popular. It's just that where we're from in the American South, man, I mean, American football is the rule. That's just what everybody grows up watching and loving. So, okay, we got a Phoenix here. I probably should have brought Sinister in, but we'll get that Phoenix on the next run. So we're going to try to get our charged up Killmonger dead. And I wouldn't mind taking out that Colossus, excuse me. Oh, there's not a lot of integration of sports in school where you're from? It's like, if you get into sports as an American, you definitely do it during school, right? I mean, like I was joking earlier that as much as we're educating children, we're also training football players. It's kind of a big part of it. So they're whipping the hell out of my Ultron, but I really want them to kill my Phoenix. I was just a little nervous to use the stealth. I'm going to throw defense up on everybody. Thank you, Nick. No, don't taunt Phoenix. I don't want to kill you. We got to clear that. Let's clear that taunt. There we go. There we go. Yeah, I mean, it's a big part of American life, playing sports in school. Not for me necessarily, but I wasn't that athletic growing up. But oh, here we go. This is the damage we want to see. There we go. There we go. Now hopefully she can live long enough to get her ultimate off. But yeah, sports is a big part of American life in general, but it's also a big part of school life for us. Now I wasn't that, like I said, I wasn't that athletic. I didn't really play a lot of sports. I certainly though was involved in it, because even if you're not on the team, no, you're looking right now. You're looking at my account, you stoner. I don't put yours on camera. So, like I said, even though I didn't participate as far as like being on the team, I always followed my high school's sport teams. That was a bare minimum of participation. That just kind of, it wasn't required. It was just kind of culturally, that's what you did. And in fact, I used to go, and I was kind of a broadcaster way back, because I used to go and get extra credit in my speech class by going to the junior high and calling football games from the booth that my brother, you stoner here, was playing in. I would go and I would be the commentator up on the loudspeaker to the crowd for his football games, and that was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed doing that. So no, we don't want to summon yet because Yo-Yo's still alive. We did not get the ultimate off on Phoenix this time, which is regrettable, but we're making some progress. This is all about, like, I've been on this same node for over a week, right? Like, it's such a grind, this mode, but I just want the rewards. I don't have fun with this mode at all, but I do want the rewards. So we're going to do what damage we can here and go down hard, and then we're going to bring them back in with Sinister, and we're going to clone that Phoenix and see what kind of damage we can do. I hate that new Colossus dropped onto the field. That's not good. Dead Nick Fury and dead Yo-Yo. So that's over. So you guys do have baseball there. That's good to know. I mean, we always hear about how popular it is in Latin America and in Asia, but we really don't hear about Europeans playing baseball very much. And that was a sport that was very near and dear to you stoner here, to Baxos and myself growing up, because our father was really big into baseball, and so that was just always. And Baxos himself he played catcher for years, and was really good at it. So let's see, we're gonna get rid of Coulson. We're gonna bring Sinister in instead. We're gonna drop 200 cores here, drop a couple of dollars, and refresh these guys. That's the only one we're gonna do. We do 2 runs on this a day, and that's it. So, here's hoping for a good run. All right. So, first thing I'm going to want to do here is use Nick to give everybody defense up. Second thing we're going to do is probably, we got 2 Colossuses on the board now. Come on, man. All right, we're going to start working these Colossuses. Colossi? I don't know, whatever. Thankfully, they have not taunted so that I can go ahead and clone a Phoenix. But we're going to leave that Phoenix there. I really don't want to kill her for Dark Phoenix. If I can, I want to leave her alive so that I can clone her tomorrow, you know? But it depends on how successful we are here. If I can get an ultimate off on both of these Phoenixes, then she's probably gone. That's probably it. Yeah, no, here in America, man, like, sports teams, we have this notion of school pride, you know, like being proud of the school that you went to, etc., etc., and that is 100% tied into sports. 100%. Okay, no, Phoenix, she put herself down. So we're in trouble now. She's about to kill all of us. So let's dish out what damage we can and hope this goes well. We're already down Ultron. And she's got everybody stealth, so I mean, I need to be hitting her anyway, but maybe I can kill her before. Of course not. Maybe I can kill her before she ultimates all of us into oblivion. We'll see. We'll see. I'm gonna need splash damage to do it. Nope. Here we go. All right, so maybe I'll get the ultimate off on this Phoenix, but I doubt it. No, that's pretty much gonna be it. So this is gonna be all of the damage we can do for the day, and that is the name of the game in Dark Dimension 3. It is a long, slow, humiliating, humbling grind. Like, these characters just drop nuclear bombs on your head. Whoa. So when you turn 18, you get paid while you go to school? Like, you're pretty much out of school at 18 here, unless you got held back a year or two or something. But ain't nobody paying nobody to go to school here. We ain't paying nobody for shit. Alright, so that's all the DD3 we're going to be able to pull off right now. So now the question becomes, alright, we got that arena battle we're going to do later, so that's pretty much all of my daily objectives. But we still need to start up an Alt 7 raid. And I'm going to hope we got the cred. We still don't have the tickets. We need the keys. I'm going to spend Baxos' energy and see if that helps out. I still need to do that. Got to farm those shards. Working on that aim team. Trying to get Phoenix. Need a Phoenix on this account. So, I mean, I could probably try to spend my 20. I don't think that's going to put a dent in it. Probably already got all the tickets I can today, in fact. Yep, definitely have. So that's not going to happen. Might have to come back after noon and start Alt 7. I don't know. Or if I knock off and start doing something else, it's very likely one of the officers will get it going as soon as it's ready. But I'd like to be able to spend my energy. Ooh, double Hella Shards. Hell yeah. So again, if you don't have Minerva, there is a $5 Minerva offer in the store that's a really good deal. She's a hard character to get. She's a character that will make a difference on your roster. So, if you're looking to be a Dolphin and just spend money strategically, that's probably a good place to do it. It's just a 5 spot. You drop 2 of them and get 100 shards. I think there's 2 of them. Maybe just 1. And I am not getting lucky on these hand assassin shards with Baxos. Every day I'm farming them and I am not coming up with much luck. But luck comes in streaks, right? That's how that works. Sports like baseball, hockey, and basketball, there are under 20 teams in the whole country. Shit. I bet we got shit. We got 20 professional sports teams per state, I bet you. given all that, I mean, shit, all the different little various small sports that everybody's into, but even just like basketball, hockey, soccer, that kind of thing. I'm pretty sure we got a lot of that. A lot of semi-pro teams, right? You see a lot of guys, you know, that are in their 30s, you know, starting to get a belly on them, but they're out there playing in semi-pro football teams, you know, chasing a dream. And, you know, that's what it's all about, man. We're all about dreams here in America. Chasing them. And I'm sure everybody chases their dreams everywhere. I really don't know why we claim that as some particular thing to us, but it's what they keep reinforcing in our propaganda. So let's see here. Okay, I think Bax he's generated all the tickets he can generate, all the keys, and I don't know if that. Oh, that did give us enough. That made it. That made it. We're ready. We can start this fucker up. So it's time for Alt 6. So what I like to do, like I say, I like to show you my screen and let you see what I'm looking at. But I'm pretty sure putting both of these accounts on screen at the same time is going to be a verification of a violation of terms of service, that I'm not really supposed to do that. So I keep Baxos off screen. But he is going to be riding along with us on these raids. He definitely needs to do Alt 7 as well. So what I like to do is try to keep them together, all right? And so I'll send Vac up this lane and Baxos up the next lane. Typically start off with Baxos's Asgardian team. Does a pretty good job clearing that first node. It's just one. Well, you know, I mean, 50 shards is better than nothing. It might do you some good. Even if it doesn't, it'll get you closer to that next star. Because God knows, you know, like getting her out of premium orbs is fucking painful, right? That shit takes forever. Especially now that you're hoping for Minerva and Yo-Yo, and you know, it's just it's a grind, man. It's a grind. But she is a character that's worth having. As you can see, I mean, I'm using her on my U7 team. All right. Got a few more people just popped in. So good morning to all the Mortys and non-Mortys. Mortys, by the way, are my guild mates pretty much. We're the Mortytown Locos. It's kind of just how we refer to ourselves. When I say Morty, I'm speaking to all the Mortys. Because, you know, there are a lot of Mortys in the multiverse. But we've got a nice collection of Mortys in our gang. Because this is what we are. We're a gang. We're tough as fuck. Ruling the streets out here in Mortytown. By God. Locos! So, yeah, Baxos and I put this guild together. We were kind of hunting around for a name, and we felt like it was probably a little too on the nose to go with a Marvel name, so that's why we opted for Mortytown Locos. You know, we're big fans of Rick and Morty, and you know, we just couldn't imagine ourselves playing with anybody who wasn't a big fan of Rick and Morty. So we went with that name. We thought maybe it would you know, attract attention. You know, bring in the right element. I guess this is what I want to say. Just wanted to get cool people on board, man. If you like our name, you're pretty cool. We wanted people on board like that. So, let's see here. What do you got? So sports are not free. That's actually true. A lot of our semi-pro teams and stuff like that, you got to pay to be on the team. And to make a living, you really need to be on a major sports team. So you got to really be good, and that's just not most people. But how else do you develop talent if you don't have like free youth sports leagues? And so like the only free, even the ones in school, right? Even when you go and play on a team in school, like you're talking about here, like if you're in junior high or high school and you're playing football or soccer or whatever football you choose, that actually does cost money. Fucking everything costs money in America. Just because it's happening at school doesn't mean it's free. It's fucking not. It is not. Now, a lot of shit gets donated to the schools because local businesses and people really love, their local school teams because they love their children, right? And they go to those schools. So people donate equipment and things like that a lot. But still, there's often when a child is participating in an extracurricular activity in school, very often there is a fee levied on the parents. Now, the kids who don't play sports or whatever, they don't really necessarily, have to pay that. They don't pay that. It's just the kids, they'll make those parents play. Exactly. There's a lot of summer leagues that are pay to play. And there is a cost involved to the parents in playing school sports. You want me to try your team? Sure, man. Yeah. What was the configuration again? I'm assuming it's got Black Bolt and Yo-Yo, or we're not even talking, right? What was it? It was Black Bolt, Yo-Yo. I'm pretty sure you had Maw in there, right? What was the? Throw it up in chat and I'll use it. One second, I need a potpourri break. Oh yeah. I love a little potpourri in the morning. All right, let's see here. Minerva, Black Bolt, Thanos, Ultron. I don't think he meant Vac. I can't put myself in there. Bless the Blaze. Yes, sir. So that's Minerva, Black Bolt. Who did you mean by Vac? I can't put myself in there. Is that Maw? Is that who you meant there? Yes, sir. Welcome aboard, Storm. Good to have you, buddy. All Mortys and even non-Mortys are welcome here. We're right at the tail end of this. I don't have a whole lot left. We're going to run through U7, and then I'm pretty much out of shit to do, I think. But we're gonna be streaming pretty regularly. So there'll be more content to catch down the road. So let's see here. Thanos. We'll put Thanos out here on the end. Minerva. I got Minerva in there. Got Black Bolt. Thanos. I took Ultron out. I shouldn't have done that, right? Let's put Ultron. Oh, come on. We'll put Ultron back in. Scroll down to Ultron. Who is way down here, but he's performs way better than that number, man. He's down here on the numbers for me, but he punches above his weight. Okay, so Minerva, Black Bolt, Thanos, Ultron. I got those four. And I'm putting in Maw for Yo-Yo. Is that what I'm doing? I mean, I'm not really comfortable going in there without Yo-Yo. I'm not sure that I like this configuration better than the one I was using. But I'd like to know who you meant by that fifth character. You surely didn't mean Vac. You put Vac in there, but that's not a character. That's me. Badminton. That's hardcore, man. Get myself in a badminton league. So, okay. Help me out, Spawn. Who did you want for that fifth character? Maw? Was Maw who you wanted here? Is that the team? That's your team? I got that right? Yeah, Maw. Okay, you meant Maw. Okay, so this is the team. This is the team. All right, that's less defense, but more but certainly more damage, and it's got a decent amount of sustain there with Maw and Thanos. So yeah, let's try it out. Can I autoplay it? I like the autoplay. We're gonna find out. I'm sure it'll work. Especially these early nodes, but this is the first boss node, so this will be a good test of it. But you've been running it successfully, right? You've been posting good numbers in the raid. I've seen them, so I got no doubt that this is going to work fine. All right. So let's watch them work. Okay. Throw the defense ups out. This is not an empowered Thanos, so he's going to be our tank. I'm not sure that I wouldn't like Yo-Yo. I mean, Yo-Yo's really effective in this, you know. It's hard to beat her as a tank. She's cutting everybody's damage in half. All right. Actually, let's get Mordo first. Ah, I get it. Okay, so we'll move Thanos to the middle. We'll shift the. It's my habit to put the tank out on the end so that splash damage only hits one other person. It's kind of how I've always approached team building. Okay, so I want Thanos to be feeding Black Bolt and Minerva. That's actually makes a hell of a lot of sense. I can't complain about it. You know, I can't dispute how that would be effective. Well, I'm glad you like it, Storm. I have done some live streaming in the past. In fact, if you look down the video list on my channel here, you'll see a lot of the videos that I put out. They were 5 years ago, right? I was playing an MMO called Star Trek Online. Like, I'm a big Trekkie, love Trek, and I was doing like episodic content for that and having a good time with it. I didn't have a webcam, you know. I didn't have this webcam at that point. And I was like, people don't need to fucking see me. They just, you know, they don't need to see me sitting here smoking potpourri. They just need to see the gameplay. But I mean, it's more and more now that it's just kind of, you want to be a successful stream, you need to have a webcam. People just want to see who the hell they're talking to and who they're investing their time in. So I'm not fighting that anymore. But I did stream 2 playthroughs, a long playthrough of that MMO. I played that for like months and months, and then I played. I wanted to experiment with streaming on my PlayStation 4 because I got this PlayStation 4 and it's got like, you can tie it to your Twitch account. It's got one button on the console or on the controller you hit and you're streaming, just as easy as that. And so I thought, well, I'm going to play with that. So I streamed like a whole playthrough of Dragon Age and had a good time with that too. And I'm pretty sure those videos are still down on the bottom. I'm not necessarily recommending you watch them. They're 5-year-old games. They're not going to be that impressive to look at this point. Although Star Trek Online is still running and still successful. It's not the best MMO out there or the biggest. All right, so let's see here. We want to get all of these positions changed. We want Thanos in the middle so that he can not only tank but energy feed. And of course, we're going to want energy feed to Minerva and to Black Bolt because that's basically our defense and our offense. And then we're going to put out Maw here on the end for the 2-turn defense ups and all of the sweet heals. And yeah, let's let it roll. This looks like a pretty good team. Oh, BB and Maw you want to feed energy to. Gotcha. All right, well, we'll fix it after this one. I'm pretty sure they're going to roll through this fine. So I need to swap Maw and swap Maw and Minerva. Got it. But yeah, live streaming. I've pretty much decided. I hope you like the live stream. I've pretty much decided that, I mean, everybody tells me to be prolific, to make a lot of content, to keep pumping it out there. So anytime that I'm playing at home, which most days is twice a day, if I'm playing at home and I can just hit play on, just hit record on OBS, then I'm going to go ahead and stream it. It's not a whole lot of effort now that I've got things set up. So we're going to keep making these live streams, and people can enjoy them or not, as they will. I don't care. I'm not trying to make a living off of this or nothing. But I felt like this would be a good way to, number one, show all the Mortys how I approach playing the game and the methodologies that I'm going through to get to where I am now. And also maybe to bring in eyeballs from outside of the guild, and it might even help us with recruiting. It's kind of the thought I was having with it. And this is something to do with my time. I'm working less overtime now and got more time to kill on gaming. And so, yeah, why not? Why not? So I think most mornings about this time and most evenings too, right, toward the end of the day, I'll be available. Be here, you can watch me playing my session live. And if you got any questions or anything like that. I saw that you commented about gold in another video. I haven't had a chance to go reply to that yet, Storm. But you asked me, I believe, something about what is my largest source of gold. And 100% my largest source of gold is campaign nodes. Basically, I spend all of my cores on energy. Use that energy to farm campaign nodes. Campaign nodes gives character shards, it gives gear, it gives gold, it gives all of that, it gives everything. So I don't really buy a lot of that stuff directly. I buy energy and then use the energy to farm what I need. It's a way more efficient way of going about it. Well, right now I'm taking the suggestion of Spawn, and I'm trying out a new Ultimate 7 team. I've had a team that I've been rolling with forever. That's basically BB, Yo-Yo, Ultron, Minerva, and Shuri, and it's real solid, right? It can go all the way to the end. It does not often fail, right, or time out or anything like that. It's got just enough DPS. It's a little slower than other teams I've used, but it's also solid. It's kind of like it's a fire and forget, right? I can put it in, hit play, walk away. I know they're going to beat the node, right? That's basically the effect I'm looking for. Where'd my Minerva go? I missed her. Where you at, Min? There you are, girl. All right, so this is Spawn's team. Might end up working a little better for me, so we're trying it out. Right. All right, so this node is basically power armors and Ultron bots. And I typically just throw her on autoplay, and I make sure that I'm always targeting War Machine and Iron Man, pretty much in that order. Like, I don't care what configuration you use. Black Bolt's doing most of the work on the damage. Get those heels going. Looking good. Oh, man. That's the inefficiencies of using autoplay. But it usually doesn't hurt me. Yeah, that makes sense. We'll see how they do against the second boss. I'm out of energy. Yeah, we'll spend 50 cores. Pretty cool Taskmaster's pick. I don't like seeing it for that long. There we go. Load it up, damn it. All right. Off we go. This is a similar setup. BB for damage, 2 heals, yo-yo, or well, good tank, and BB for damage, and then the res for a backup. Got to get that trooper out of there. I hate those. Hate those comeback attacks, those retributions. I think I definitely want Loki there. No, we got to switch to trooper. No, I actually have not considered assigning lanes regularly. Because I think if I assign lanes regularly, what it means is I'm going to have to end up spending time fucking watching and managing and yelling at people that ought to know fucking better in the first place, to be quite honest. It's not that hard. You find an empty lane, you clear it. If we're in, back in U6, it's not important anymore, but back in U6, it was not that difficult to see the path of the lanes and what was the more efficient way to go, to see that the inside and the middle eventually merged and you needed to have 2 people there to take those 2 forks that they went into toward the end, and that you needed 1 guy on the outside lane. It doesn't take a genius to see that shit. I want people that can understand this crap on their own without me having to babysit them. That's what I want. I don't want to have to ride people's asses. I don't want to have to do that shit. I really don't. I don't even care that much about raids anymore. I'm just kind of doing it to get them done to help all of y'all catch up, right? Like, I mean, aside from the T4 gear that I get out of it, and the few T4 ability materials that I get out of this Alt 7 raid, like, it's just really not that huge of a deal to me. So yeah, no, I mean, especially when these Alt 7 raids, it's essentially pick a lane and clear it, right? And then if you're gonna leapfrog somebody that's having a hard time, right? If you got a guy that we're halfway through the raid and he's sitting down here in one of the first 2 nodes, then that's pretty clear that that's as far as he can go, especially if it's somebody like Skilled or Red or one of our lower TCP people. Then go ahead and jump him in U7. That's fine. I mean, like, what's he going to bitch about? He wasn't going to clear that whole lane anyway, right? But mostly everybody can get a lane of their own for the most part, all of our big hitter guys. And so that's just it. Just pick your lane, clear as much as you can. We'll get 60% most days. As for these gamma raids, all the Greek raids particularly, it's pretty much the same as anywhere else, right? Like, there are wings, right? You got a middle wing here, you got an outside wing over here, and then you got an outside wing up here, right? And the idea is that you want to send 2 guys into each wing, and in this particular raid, you can see that while you have 2 lanes of travel down either side of the outside wings, the inside wing has a middle lane, right? So what you want to do is your first 6 people into this raid want to take the 2 outside, the 2 lanes on the outside of the wings, right? I call these wings, and then there's lanes inside the wings. So this middle wing, you can see that you want to send 2 guys down the outside edges of it, and then the 3rd guy in should come up the middle and kind of just play cleanup and get anything that got missed. And so, you know, I mean, like skill went up the middle here, right? That's not that big a deal. It's as long as Reds or whoever comes up the middle next takes that outside lane and doesn't jump over this shit and skip those 2 nodes right here. If that happens, we fucked up. Like, that's a way to make sure you never get 100%. So we need smart play. We need people that are examining the field and understanding what's happening. So that's not the kind of people you assign lanes to. I don't want to have to do it. And also, it's more administration for me, right? I'm going to have to, like, watch people. And, you know, right now, I mean, I see somebody screwing up. I try to say something to them and try to coach them a little bit. But I don't want to have to be like, oh, you got to do this every day or I'm kicking your ass, you know. Right now, our policy is sometimes people take a day off. And that's cool. I don't mind that. You know, we'll fill in. And so if we're all reacting to the situation in the moment, then we can adapt to that. And I don't have to demand that people be here every day. You know, like when people become a problem, we kick them, right? Like we just, I mean, I invited Mez to come play with us. I hated to have to cut him, but he just wasn't playing, man. He's playing 2-3 days a week. We need more than that, you know? Do I have another? I can do another one here. Jump right over Baxos. I'm pretty sure he's not going to bitch at me, right? So I can leapfrog him. But I'm leapfrogging him because he and I came up and cleared this whole wing together, right? The way I did was we went to the outside wing, backs to one side, back to the other. We jump all the way up. And then up here at the end where it merges, then we kind of start leapfrogging each other. And so, you know, he's at the point now where he's out of characters. He can't. Everybody's dead and he doesn't have any refreshes and he can't clear anymore. So then at this point I just kind of take up the ball and run as far as I can. More football analogies, sorry. All right. Might have should have just gone straight to X-Men, but I think these guys have got one more win in them. Definitely don't want to be taking that tank. Let's actually get Storm before she builds up charges. Now we want to get that Magneto. Yeah, I don't really necessarily want independent thinkers. I want people who are all thinking the same correct thing. And that's, I think, another benefit of this stream is that I can explain the methods that we're using in clearing raids, and even more importantly, what my thought process is during war. So that people, sometimes I can't quite get back quick enough to call a room in a timely fashion. I try, but God knows I got a life like everybody else. A lot of times the war's going on while I'm on an 8-hour work shift or even a 12-hour work shift, and things can be difficult because they're paying me to fix shit, and if I gotta fix shit, I can't call the room in war. It's difficult to find the time sometimes. And then also sometimes I just don't get a notification that the room dropped, and I'm expecting a notification when the room dropped. So I just it's like an hour later I check things and I see oh shit, the room's been down 40 minutes. So it'd be nice if I could kind of impart the methodology that I'm using to select rooms, so that people understand, that can kind of predict what I would call next if that happens. So it looks like we're done on the gamma raid, which pretty much is going to mean we're kind of done for the morning. Our voucher for a replacement, Morty. Yeah, well, you know what, Storm, if you don't have Sinister, I wouldn't worry about splitting up the old Brotherhood thing. But if you do have a good Blob and a good Toad, that new configuration works. Even if your Blob and Toad are a little underpowered, it still works pretty well. But I mean, I wouldn't be in a rush if you don't have a Marauders team to build with Sabretooth and Mystique. I actually I was watching lots of streamers use the new Brotherhood long before I started fielding them, because I didn't spend really any money on Toad or Blob. And so I've been playing catch up on those two, but I've about got them done now. I got Toad to 7 stars the other day, and now I'm just waiting on Blob shards, to come out of orbs. So yeah, okay. Still got a little left pending on Vaxos, but this looks like this is about all I'm going to be able to do on Vac for now. We can probably farm up a little more a skill gear for Corvus, or at least try with these 30 energy. Yeah, I got a couple. There we go. Incremental progress. It is a game of incremental progress. So there you go. So that's pretty much it for me this morning. If anybody has any further questions, comments, concerns, any kind of feedback, really, I fucking thrive on that shit. Let me have it. And before I go, if anybody would like to play a versus match on stream, this is a good opportunity. We can do that now before I shut down the Mortytown TV. So you guys think about it. I'm gonna take a real quick breather. Oh yeah. It's getting about time to clean my potpourri receptacle. So, no takers, no questions, comments, concerns. Then that'll do it. So that pretty much concludes Mortytown TV for this AM session. I will try to stream another couple of hours tonight after work. I'm certainly going to have energy and such to spend. So I'll see you then. Until then, you Mortys have a great day. Stay cool, and we'll see you tonight.